It's got Jeff Bridges. It's got Jeff Pine.
Jeff Pine. Who the fuck's Jeff Pine?
Fuck you. We saw Hell or High Water. It's time for good or bad. Chris Pine is his name. That's right. We saw Hell or High Water. Came out about a week ago, I think, roughly. I think we're going to have a little bit of differing opinions on this one.
Okay, first off, how is Ben Foster not Aaron Paul?
He does look like Aaron Paul in this a lot. But, yeah, it's true. He did look a lot like him. So, Hell or High Water, it's like I didn't even look at who directed it. I just went and saw it because I thought it looked interesting.
A guy directed it. David McKenzie, I think his name is.
Yes, that is it, yes.
And this thing's low budget.
Yeah.
And it looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
But at points you could tell it's low budget, mostly in those crazy jib shots.
Yes, the jib, they're a little shaky jib. Yeah, I noticed that.
Not spoiler so much, but I'll just go ahead and draw it.
Yeah.
I thought the film was incredibly well done. It was also incredibly predictable and cliche.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree necessarily with any of that.
Like I literally everything that happened I called like well in advance, and it happened, and I was just like, all right.
I guess predictable is a good word for it, but the way I looked at it is the thing that I thought this movie did really well was that it told a simple story simply.
Yes.
And I think there's something to be said for that.
It's all, at this point in the industry, that's all you can ask for.
Yeah, I mean, that's honestly not... it's like, there's not a lot... There's not overarching... I mean, there are overarching themes and stuff, but I mean, there's not a lot... There's not a complicated story. It's about as simple, bare bones as it gets. Two guys need to rob banks to pay off the mortgage on their house so that the bank doesn't reclaim it. That's... I mean, without going into spoilers and whatnot, that's the story.
You really can't even get into everything about it because it's so simple.
Yeah, you can only, because that literally that's all it is. And I really liked that about the movie, that there wasn't anything else going on. I got everything I needed to know. You get to or everything you need to know, you're told. You don't have to guess anything, you don't have to infer anything. There's not plot holes, there's not stuff missing. There's not too much, which is a fucking important thing. And I thought it was a very interesting, I thought it was a good character study, and I thought Chris Pine was the best Chris Pine's ever been in anything, probably. Which is not saying a ton, but... This
film is so slow to get started.
It is slow. I don't know. I was engaged because...
even the action shit of them robbing banks seems kind of mundane.
I think it's supposed to an extent. It's a very... dialed back, realistic. Like, it's not high-flying bank robbers. They're just fucking two idiots pulling a gun out on a clerk and say, give me all the money. And then, I don't know, that worked for me. Like, it's literally as lowbrow. What, do you want to get into spoilers? Or?
Yeah,
all right. Here, hold on, real quick, before we get to spoilers and we discuss them and discuss more in depth of the movie. I would recommend this movie. I think you should go see it. I think you should. Yes. You would probably recommend it anyways, even without saying. Even though you probably didn't like it as much as I did. It's one of those movies. It's the kind of movie that should make money because it's different. It's doing something interesting, and I think it's a really well done movie. So I would recommend go see Hell or High Water. Now, if you have seen it or don't care, we're going to talk about some spoilers.
I just realized. All right, so the whole thing of them getting oil on the property. And then they're burying all these cars.
Yeah.
Are they going to find those cars when they start drilling for oil?
I guess they're not going to drill in their front yard.
Yeah, but you got to survey the land.
Yeah. Oh, that was funny. I was like, you couldn't have gone anywhere else to bury those other than on your front yard. Like burying the cars you committed crimes in your front yard. But, okay, so the thing that I think this movie was most successful at, other than telling a simple story simply, was I felt this movie. I'm sitting there in a theater. I've been to the western United States a few times, but not for any length of time. This whole time, I'm just sitting there. I feel dusty
desolate.
And hot, and desperation is like
everywhere.
The title of could be the title of this movie.
Okay, I gotta talk about the opening shot.
Yeah,
how fucking gorgeous that is.
Spin, slow, pan.
And then where it ends, where it has the bank, and across the bank is a church that has crosses for windows.
Yep.
And you'd be like, holy crap, that's a little bit of foreshadowing. Mm-hmm. 3 crosses. There's
the 3 players.
It
was really, like I said, I thought it was a really well done. A lot of that stuff was well done. The cinematography It was very simple, but perfectly worked for the story.
Yes.
Like there's nothing complicated going on other than some spinning jib shots that are
And they're so few and far between.
Yeah, there's the opening shot, the ending shot, and then like a couple other.
My favorite shot that made me like cinegasm. That's how great this shot was when they're heading down to the last bank robbery town. And there's a shot that they're looking over this
the cliff,
over this cliff.
as the car.
And it is fucking gorgeous.
Yeah, my girlfriend she was like, it gave me like vertigo. It makes you like, whoa, that's cool. Yeah, it was fucking amazing. And they use that shot, similar shot again when Jeff Bridges is driving into town.
So the clichédness into it. There's like lines where Jeff Bridges is like, "Oh, I'm gonna retire in a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
I gotta get ready, for doing nothing." And then the other ranger is like, "I got a family to think about, and I'm gonna retire to this place." And I'm like, "Oh, God, you are the most dead person in the film right now."
Yeah, there's a lot of that. And predictable. It's definitely predictable. Where you go, okay, well, he's gonna die. He's gonna die. Yeah. This is gonna happen.
The second they bought the truck and they got both the vehicles going down to that last bank robbery town, I'm like, all right, well, clearly Chris Pine's not dying.
Pin. Chris Pin.
Footloose.
Crispin Hellion Glover.
Clearly he's not going to die here, so Ben Foster's obviously going to die.
Yeah.
And we know what's going to happen. He's like, I got to lead them away.
Yeah.
Like, oh, God, I called that like
It is literally, you could call the whole movie that sort of thing. It didn't detract from it to me. Because that's what I wanted to happen. I was like, I want Ben Foster to die. I want Chris Pine to get away. And I want Jeff Bridges to, well, I didn't want the Native American guy to die necessarily, but I figured that was going to happen.
I kind of wanted him to have a giant knife. The Native American.
Yeah, you know what I thought was a really interesting unique story element in this movie that you don't see in a lot of things is that Jeff Bridges is this old kind of racist fucking sheriff in he's a ranger or not a ranger.
He's a Texas Ranger.
Texas Ranger in Texas, and his partner is a half Hispanic or half Mexican, half Native American guy, and so he just gives him he just fucking says racist shit. Jeff Bridges says racist shit to him all the time and just teases him, but he actually really likes the guy, like he really cares for him, and so he doesn't think he sees it as just he's making jokes. And there's this scene where they're in a hotel room and he's just shitting on him and talking about how soccer sucks and that is a real sport, football or whatever, and you can see on the fucking the Native American officer's face, he's just like, he just doesn't want anything. He's just tired of it.
Yeah.
And there's this heartbreaking moment where, because Jeff Bridges is drinking a beer, and the Native American guy's like, isn't it your fucking bedtime or something like that? And Jeff Bridges goes, yep. And you can see how sad he is.
The line was, don't you have your own room to go to?
Yes.
And you can see how kind of lonely.
Yes, you can see how lonely Jeff Bridges is, and he puts his beer back in the six pack, and because he wanted to sit there and have some beers with his friend, but he's such an asshole, he can't even accomplish that. He can't even fucking just hang out and have some beers with his friend because he's just fucking racist asshole.
How insanely out of shape is Jeff Bridges? I know he's old.
Jeff Bridges is a national treasure, and in this movie,
the scene where he's like going up that cliff,
he's like
I'm pretty sure this isn't acting at this point. He's literally dying.
No, he's like, no, I'm gonna take the shot. And I was like, you can't even stand right now. I don't think you're gonna be able to shoot a guy from 500 yards away. You're wheezing like a fucking water buffalo. So I want to talk about my see if you think my interpretation of the ending makes sense or works. Okay, so at the end of the movie, Ben Foster dies after he kills the Native American partner of Jeff Bridges, and then Chris Pine gets away, gets all the money, and is living on the farm where they found oil, so he's got a shit ton of money. Jeff Bridges comes to Chris Pine's house. Post-retirement, because they have nothing on Chris Pine, they can't arrest him. They're like, we don't have no evidence. Mm-hmm. But he knows he was involved because he's his brother, or Ben Foster's brother, and he comes and he's like, and they're talking, and about like, well, why'd you do it, how'd you do it, that sort of thing. And there's this tension the whole time. You're like, fucking, you'd think Jeff Bridges is just like, fuck this, and just going to try to kill him, or is going to kill him, or Chris Pine's going to kill him if he tries to kill him. And because they both have guns, and technically Chris Pine can shoot him because he's on his property and standard ground laws or whatever. I don't know. But so they have all this big discussion, and then they leave. As they're leaving, Chris Pine's family shows up, and so he's like, can't kill him or whatever. So he goes to, or they starts leaving, and Chris Pine says, "Hey, I have a house in the city."
Yeah.
Or in town, if you ever want to finish this conversation. and and Jeff Bridges says something along the lines of, "Oh," and they're talking about how they're gonna both hold this with them their whole lives and they're never gonna get over it. And Chris Pine goes, "If you ever want to finish this conversation, maybe I can help you find peace." Implication: I'm gonna fucking shoot you. And then Jeff Bridges goes, "Well, maybe I'm the one who'll help you find peace. Like, I'll fucking shoot you first." And the movie basically ends. The interpretation I like to think of what happened in this is because the implication is that they're gonna show up and they might just kill one of them, will kill the other one, and that'll be how they help them find peace. I like to think that how they help them find peace is they actually become friends. Every time Jeff Bridges always shows up. Jeff Bridges shows up to talk. They both have a gun, and they're both about ready to kill each other. But they talk, and they talk a little more, and they start to work through this together. And then each time as they leave, they go, it's kind of like the Dread Pirate Roberts. Nice, I'll probably kill you in the morning. They each go, I'll fucking kill you next time I see you. For the rest of their life. And neither one of them kills the other one.
It's gotta be too long for Jeff Bridges.
No, Jeff Bridges is like for another month. But and every time they goes, man, maybe I'll fucking kill you next time I see you. Maybe I'll fucking kill you. But they don't. They become buddies and they like have beers together. That's how I like to think the movie actually ended, or what the actual ending of the. That's my optimistic ending of Hell or High Water.
So we both recommend the film.
Yeah, I liked it.
Hell or High Water. The title drop in the film was really stupid. When that happened, I was
trailer. It's in the trailer.
When that happened, I was like, "Come on."
Yeah, I gotta get that money to the bank come Friday by Hell or High Water.
So the film's great. The film is good. It's solid.
Yeah, it's very solid. Go see it.
Starring Jeff Pine. You may know him from the unmade Star Trek film.
Jeff Pine.
Jeff Pine.
Yeah. So, until next time, keep watching movies, especially Hell or High Water, because it's pretty good.